thank you for being here. Before I give you a little bit more in-depth insight into our production for this fall, let me introduce the amazing team we have put together for you this fall, and this is not all of them. Not only do we have a very large and talented staff, but I believe we might be the tallest staff in California, and you'll see in a second. Starting with the color guard, caption head Jace Peoples. Also color guard instructor Sean Gongwer. And we have a third color guard instructor that will be joining us on Monday for the first time, Ricky Contreras, but not here this evening. On to percussion that many of you know very well by now. They've been here for several years before I even got here, and have done outstanding work with that program, led by Dave Sankis. And battery led by Lane Army, who I believe is not here, but Lane Army. Our outstanding cymbal technician, David Medina. Was here earlier. Our snare technician, who is back, who was at Homestead previously and has returned this year, Irshan Urha. And Alec Swank, another Homestead alumni. And new also to staff this year, and not in attendance, but Vienna Modesto Michelson. And then this year we have a new visual team that I'm sure you've heard some of the stories at home about all the dance and posture work and all that fun stuff our kids have been doing. So it is my great pleasure to introduce our new visual caption head for this fall season. He comes to us from the North Bay area. He has taught at Santa Clara Vanguard Winter Percussion, James Logan High School, Live Oak High School, Blue Devils B, choreographer, arranges music, and just finished his percussion degree, Mr. Christopher Carrasco. As well, new to the visual staff this year, Kelsey Teal. Mr. Brad Fujisawa. Put on your face, Mr. Dave Pepe. Another Homestead alumni, Dave Lewis. Another Homestead alumni, Jeff Kohler. Is that it? And this year, flew in a great friend of mine I've known for about 3 years, all the way from New Jersey. He is a certified personal trainer, has his own music arranging company, very successful with that. He is a middle school band director. I don't think there's anything he cannot do. He's been a motivator, a trainer. He's worked out with your kids this week. He's done it all. He's done an amazing job. The only bummer is he's going back to Jersey tomorrow, but Mr. Rob Stein. So this year's production, The City of Tomorrow, the design process is always a fun process to sit down with the staff and begin with a series of ideas. Sometimes it's themes, sometimes it's music first, sometimes it's a combination. And we finally got to The City of Tomorrow after a series of discussions. And basically the inspiration behind it came from another new staff member who's in Indiana currently, but Ryan Springler. And the idea behind the show is to represent what people of like the 50s and 60s thought the future was going to be. So with this retro futuristic perspective throughout the show. We're going to have many wrinkles we add throughout the season. Think of what you're going to see today as just the skeleton of the opener. Eventually we're going to have very large props that are being designed by the Blue Devils prop designer that are going to have a steampunk aesthetic to them with lots of copper, mesh, gold, big rivets. They're going to be very, very cool. And maybe some other surprises we'll save for later down the season on those. So the show is going to begin with Prelude and Traffic that we're going to perform for you, which is the hustle and bustle of the city, the excitement, the wonder of the future. Then part two that you just heard, Parklands, is the beauty, the serene nature of the openness of like Central Park in New York City. And then our closer, which will be finished very soon, musically from our arranger, John Meehan, And it's going to be called Illuminated Cityscape, and it's going to start with our percussion section, going into the wind, building lots and lots of tension, and then the show is going to end with this huge, shimmering, glorious apex musically that will be something to remember this season. So you'll see the program grow throughout the season. You're going to see more choreography that the members are going to be challenged to do than they have in years past. And like I've been telling them, and I'll tell you, by the end of the season, there's probably not going to be a moment in the show where they're just standing still. They're always going to be moving or doing something exciting. And really to echo what Mr. Byrne has already said, this summer has been incredibly, incredibly productive. The students have been the hardest working band I've seen since I've been here, but also with a very, very positive attitude. And I mean, what you're about to see is going to speak for itself. They have half the show on the field before school even started, and they're already performing a lot of it at a very high level. So, without further ado, let's please set top of the show, and we will perform for you our first production from the City of Tomorrow, Prelude in Traffic.